Okay, so just to remind you really quickly, if we're doing like 3/4 plus 4/5, what do we need? Common denominator. What do 4 and 5 go into? 20. They go into 4 times 5. So this one needs a times 5, and this one needs a times 4. And when you're adding fractions, what do you do with the denominator?
Just leave it alone.
Keep it the same, and then you just add the numerators, right? Okay, so on number 1, do they have the same denominator? Yes. So really all we're doing is working on the numerators. U minus v plus 6u minus 3v. Like that plus that. And if we're adding, we can only add like terms. So u plus 6u makes 7u. And minus v plus minus 3v makes minus 4v. Okay, and then on the bottom, we're not going to touch it, right? So it's just going to be 8v. Now, that is the answer, but we should always check and make sure, like, can I take a 4 out or something? Can I factor this? Because maybe something reduces. So, for example, if there had been an 8 right here instead of a 7, then we could have taken a 4 out. And then on the bottom, ooh, the 4 and the 8 would have reduced. You know, like we did. So sometimes the final answer reduces, not very often, but we'll have to watch out for it. Make sure it doesn't reduce. Number 3, can we just add those together? Yeah. So we're basically doing 5 plus 5a plus 1, like this. So what would that simplify to? 5a plus 6 over that big thing. Now, does 5a plus 6 factor? No. And the bottom actually does. It factors a plus 2, a plus 1, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't reduce with the top. So, yeah, that's as good as it gets right there on number 3.
So on 4, do we need to factor it or
No, it's not going to work. On number 2, we should probably talk about that one. A lot of people will get that one wrong, probably. They do have the same denominator, though. But we're supposed to subtract the second fraction, right? So that means it's like this. Like Sam's just prepared. He's ready.
Does he have just the paper?
Yeah, he always has it out and ready to go.
Yeah.
Sets it to the side.
You're a
right
top
there.
priority.
She's puffed about that. All right. So anyway, my point is you just got to make sure that you subtract both of these. So it's like m minus m gone, but it's negative 3n minus 3n. And then on the bottom it was 6n cubed n. So what else can we do on number 2?
Take out 6.
6 is reduced. What else? N's reduced. So what's the answer? So just watch out for the minuses. So number 6 is kind of the same. You got to subtract both of those things on top. Number 5. Are those denominators the same? Yes. So r plus r is 2r, and then 6 plus 1 is plus 7. And the denominator is still 3r minus 6. Okay, and again, 2r plus 7 does not factor. You could take a 3 out of the bottom, but that's not going to cancel out, so no need. No need. Okay, number 7 is the first one we actually have to do a little bit of work. So the question is, what is the common denominator? What do 4 and x minus 1 both go into?
4 times.
Yeah, whatever 4 times x minus 1 is. We're not actually going to multiply that out. It's just, that's just the denominator. We're going to leave it alone though. So, what is this denominator missing to turn into the common denominator? Times 4. So that means I need to multiply the top times 4. What's this denominator missing? X minus 1. So that means the top also needs an x minus 1.
Isn't it 5x?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so really, what's my denominator going to be? That. I mean, we're done with the denominator. It's just, we got to simplify the top. 4 times 6 minus 5x times x. So this is basically what we're doing. Just that. So 4 times 6 is 24. Distributive property, right?
5x
Minus 5x squared minus 5x times minus 1 plus 5x. I would probably write that in standard order, like the negative 5x squared in front, plus 5x plus 24.
Do we have to factor it?
I don't think that one actually does factor, so, no. Even if you do factor, that doesn't mean it will reduce. You're supposed to, if you can, but that one doesn't.
That's 6 factors?
They have common denominators.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, when you subtract, all you get is 2 minus 3 is equal to 1. Yeah, it's just go.
Oh, added them together.
So if negative,
oh.
nothing's going to cancel out with negative 1. So there's no need to try to factor. Like number 3, the denominator factors, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't reduce, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
I think the first one that factors was 11, maybe. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I might be wrong. X plus 7 plus 4. All right. What is the common denominator on number 9? Okay. What do these two go into? They go into whatever x plus 7 times x minus 8 is. We just need to use one of each. So our left fraction, our left denominator is missing the x minus 8. So the top gets an x minus 8, and then the right fraction is missing the x plus 7, so it gets an x plus 7. It's kind of like cross multiplying, but it's not really. And there's some cases where you don't, but that's kind of what's happening. So the denominator is done. It's just x plus 7, x minus 8. So we just need to do the numerator stuff. 3 times x minus 8 plus 4 times x plus 7. So distributive property, 3x minus 24, distribute, plus 4x plus 28.
7x plus 4.
Yeah, add the like terms. 3x plus 4x is 7x, minus 24 plus 28 plus 4. Number 11. Alright, this one has a new trick. Okay, what's different about number 11 is that one of the denominators is factorable. And if you can factor something, you should, because it helps you see what they can both go into. So how can I factor this denominator over here?
Take out 4.
Take out a 4. If I take a 4 out, what will be left?
3x minus 2.
Right. It's like dividing a 4 out. So, what is the common denominator? That's the question. So, for the numbers, you can just say, what do 3 and 4 both go into? 12. And then, what does 3x minus 2 go into? You need a 3x minus 2 as well. You just need to make sure all the factors can go into the common multiple. Anyways, what is this first denominator missing to turn it into the common denominator?
4 and x minus 2.
Yes, it needs a times 4 and a times 3x minus 2. So the top needs times 4 times 3x minus 2. And what is the second denominator missing to turn into this? Times 3. Okay, really factoring on this problem didn't help us, but normally it would change things, so yeah, it's
Can
good.
you reduce the 8 and the 4 on the second part or no?
You could, but it's not gonna help because you're trying to, like, remember when you're adding fractions that, like, you multiply that by 2, you get 6/10. You don't wanna reduce this again because you need the common denominator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, you don't want to reduce it right now. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, and we gotta do all that stuff on top. So 7 times, I'm just writing it here, down here, 3x minus 2 minus 8 times 3. So 7 times 4 is 28, so it's kind of like we're distributing the 28 there. 28 times 3x is, what is that, 60, 84, x minus 56 minus 8 times 3 is 24. And those two, negative 56 minus 24 is negative 80. Okay. Will you guys see the top of this one? The numerator? What do you notice? It's factorable. You can take a, what can you take out of that? 4. So I'm going to take a 4 out. If I divide those by 4, I get 21x minus 20. And on the bottom, I still have that thing. So what's going to happen?
Take the 4 and the 12.
4 and 12 are going to reduce. So that's why you kind of have to see if you can factor and it reduces. So the real final answer is 21x minus 20 over 3 times 3x minus 2. That. Okay, I know I said we are going to take tomorrow off, but we are going to actually finish this. And we're not stopping today either, but I'm just saying. So this will be due on Wednesday. You guys gonna put it off till Tuesday night?
Probably.
Well, you guys should get this done in class tomorrow. It's not that huge, it's more like a day and a half assignment than
I hope I'll be here tomorrow. Well, for your class.
for your grandparent. Yeah, so we're doing this.
Okay.
The critical thinking.
Your grandparents coming?
I think so. And I have the option of coming back to school or not. I don't want to come back to school.
What, Leo? I'm just disappointed in you.
Very good.
Oh, it was bonus. this if you want to try it. I thought 27 was pretty straightforward. 28 is a little bit tricky, but you might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I would
Use
take
that to
it.
your advantage.
I would.
That's how you wrote it.
Mhm.
She was like, what is, she said, what is Ellie gonna come? I said, David. She goes, that's right. Ellie. I'm gonna be like, girl, remember like, the birthday on it.
Okay, there's nothing really special about 13, so instead of doing that one, let me choose an even to do. Let's maybe number 14 or 8. All right, does 8 confuse you guys maybe?
10.
Okay, well 6 is like 6. We'll talk about 8, not 13. If I just say it, it will not be as good as the visual, so I have to draw the whole thing here real quick, write the whole thing. Alright, this is 8. What do you guys think the common denominator is going to be?
7x minus 5 and x plus 4.
Okay, so this guy's good to go, right? Don't touch him. But what does this one need?
So both of them.
Needs both of them. So the top gets both of them. Alright. So really all I'm doing is multiplying the 6 by the denominator over here,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only denominator. And you gotta do all that. Notice I put parentheses around the x plus 5 because you're supposed to subtract all of that. Well, how would we do this big mess right in here?
You plug. No.
Multiply by the first, or distribute it to the first one.
Yeah, okay, well, does order multiplication matter? Not really. So you could FOIL first, or you could distribute the 6 out on this. You wouldn't distribute it out on both of them. That would be like multiplying by 2 6s, like, so that would be wrong. You could do 6 times one of these, and then that times that. That would work. So here, let me do 6 times this guy instead. That might be the easiest way. 6x or 7x minus 5 times 6x plus 24 minus x plus 5. So it's just a FOIL problem. First, outside minus 168. Still kind of big numbers, isn't it? Inside, last. Then we gotta minus both of those guys. So it's just FOIL.
Easy with the water. I didn't even do anything. It like splattered out.
You have to get the disinfectant out and spray the table down. Alright, anyways. 42x squared is the only x squared term.
198.
Minus 198 minus 199 x. How about those two guys? Whew. It's a doozy. That's a doozy. Over that thing right there. Can I just drag it down? You guys can't do this.
Just 10 factor.
Yes. Maybe I should have done. Okay, well, I'll do 10 and I'll stop. Well, and then you guys start doing some evens. Or whatever problems I didn't do. Okay. If the denominator's factor, you need to do that. How does this denominator factor?
4.
Take out a 4b. And if you take a 4b out, what's left? Plus 1. Remember, we're dividing the 4b. 4b divided by 4b is 1. Okay, the reason we factor is to find the common denominator better. So, what do the 4 and 2 both go into? 4. And v goes into a v. And v, we got a v plus 1, so we need one of those. So, really, the common denominator is the denominator on the left. Because 2 can go into this, right? So, they both go into this. It's good to have it broken apart, though, because maybe this might reduce. So, this doesn't need changed, because it's got the right denominator. But what does this guy need right here? 2v v plus 1, right? So the top gets 2v v plus 1. How do I turn 2 into this?
There's another one.
Oh, because 2 times.
You need 1.
Yeah, you need to multiply 2 times 2 to get to 4.
You're growing.
So, remember the denominator we don't really do anything with. So, but the top we got 3 minus 7 times 2v, v plus 1. That's the top. And 3 times, or 7 times 2v is 14v. So it would be minus 14v squared minus 14v. That's basically it. It doesn't look like it's going to factor now. I'm going to change the order though.
Yeah, what is she at?
96.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not. Ain't no way. You
She
bet.
got like
Hold on, let me see
77
We're keeping
yesterday. Yeah, it was
track.
like 70 yesterday.
No,
It was like 70.
Yeah, we were in the 70s, weren't we?
We're in the
No,
70s.
we were in the 80s.
check my math.